Don't drive out in front of me. Don't drive out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Colin. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. It seems like it would be simple, right, to switch between bikes. If you don't know this, I also have a 2021 Pan America, and I've been riding that a lot more recently because I did some off-road riding and all kinds of different things. And you get used to one bike, all of a sudden you get back on this, and it's something simple as the turn signals, because on this bike they're on the left and the right. On the Pan Am, they're all on one controller, and just the seating position, I just got to get used to it. But that's not what this video is about. I want to get your opinion on some stuff, guys. This is one of those where I'm asking for feedback, and because this is kind of like a topic where everybody has a different opinion for sure. And the question I'm going to ask you guys are Harleys really reliable? That is a nice vet in front of me. I'm not really a car guy. I'm obviously a bike guy, but I always respect great looking automobiles like the one in front of me. So, I bring this up because a couple weeks ago on our fireside chat or live stream that I do with Bodine 52 and Harley Day Rider, I think this got brought up as a question. It got brought up to say about reliability, so to speak, something like that. And I'm going to give you my take on it and kind of how I feel towards the end of the video. And again, I want to hear from you guys, definitely. How many of you do the forums thing? You know, you go on either Facebook or Harley forums or any type of forum that just, you know, talks about your brand motorcycle, right? And it's irritating to me because it seems like, and now I'll be the first to say this, it has died down in the past like year. When I first joined about a year and a half ago, and I have several that I'm part of. You have the Milwaukee 8-1, I have Harley, I have the Street Glide Special, and I think I'm part of like 4 or 5 of them. You always get the focus on the negative. You always get the focus on reliability, on this person had an issue with something. This person had an issue with this. Whatever you want to insert problem there, right? And I started thinking about it. I'm like, this is my 4th Harley. And I get reliability, right? I understand that, you know, anybody could take a poll, and said poll will give you some pretty close numbers. So I actually looked it up. So I looked up to see reliability with motorcycles, and there was probably like 7 or 8 different articles. Some were recent, some were back from 5-6 years ago. And your top ones, the top ones that that seem to be in the top of the list for all of them, were Yamaha. Yamaha did very well in reliability. Basically, I think it was averages around 16-17% that your vehicle or your motorcycle is going to have an issue within the first 4 years of owning it or riding it, whatever you want to call it. And then I think second was Honda. So your Japanese bikes, right? So they fared very high on there, and then they just started going down the list. And Harley actually, in most of these articles, was considered good reliability, even though when you hear the number that I'm about to tell you, the average number was anywhere from probably 23 to 27% people had an issue with reliability. And you think about that, okay, 1 out of 4 people are going to have issues with Harley. Now, I don't know if that's accurate. You know, and again, I go on these forums, and again, I know you're going to have some opinionated people that say Harleys suck and all this, blah, 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 blah. And they're the worst bike ever. The reason Harley gets so much hate or so much attention to this is because of the size of the company, too. They're a freaking huge company. You know, they're an icon. They sell, hold on, I got to get around this cat. Come on, Jebediah and Abraham. There you go. Ooh, that's Samantha, I think. Samantha is what I call the Amish women for some strange reason. I don't know why, I can't figure that out, but Samantha was the only thing that popped in my head. You think about this. So 25%, 1 out of 4 bikes are going to create an issue if you ride a Harley. Now I got to go around this guy again. Freaking traffic jam in Amish land over here. And if you look at that from the outside looking in, you know, someone that's never purchased a bike before, they're going to look at that like, what the hell? But let's think about this for a second. This is what we brought up on the live stream. You're riding a motorcycle. You're riding a motorized vehicle. There's going to be stuff that happens, right? It's how you take care of it. It's how you ride it. You know, Harleys aren't like machines that, you know, I'll be the first man. I'm not a mechanic, but there are a lot of things that I could probably do on this bike after just kind of watching some videos and reading some manuals and do it myself. I've done a lot more over the years than what I did in the first part of my riding life, where I used to take it always to the dealer. But the more and more I've owned it, I've done a lot more wrenching. So saying that, it's all how you take care of your bike. If you maintain your motorcycle, you're probably going to have a lot less issues than you would if you just ride the hell out of it and don't give a rat's ass about it. And so, like, I take care of my bikes. I don't ride them super hard. You know, and I've done some upgrades to these things. You know, like this one specifically, I've added a stage 3 kit. And in the past, you know, like 2 years ago, you heard everybody saying the sumping issues, that anybody that in it affected a lot of the Milwaukee 8s, but predominantly it was the 17 models, and predominantly was also the people that decided to upgrade a a stage kit. Hey, look, I fall into that category. This is a 17. I did a stage 3 on this. Haven't had one issue. Not one issue. But I had a friend of mine, McKaylee7, that at the time when I think he had a 17 too, and he did a stage 4, and he had nothing but problems, but that could be because the person that did it might not have been a certified mechanic and didn't do it right. Regardless, he had a different issue than I did. So again, that falls into the 1 and 4, whereas I didn't have any issues. Point is, when you go to these forums, it just seems like everybody is focusing on the negative and not talking about a lot of the good things that happen with riding a motorcycle. About the friends you meet, about the rides you do, about all the positives there are about riding. It just seems like they're just focused on Harley being a piece of crap motorcycle. And honestly, they're really not. You know, what's funny about all this is I talk about I haven't had any issues with this bike, and before this I had a 2016 Street Glide Special, and before that I had a 2006, I think it was either 6 or 7, Fat Bob. And I did a stage kit on that. No issues whatsoever. None. No issues with the 16 Street Glide. No issues with this. Besides just your basic maintenance. I got a 2021 Pan Am, which I absolutely freaking love that bike. I mean, it is an outstanding bike. I know there's videos out there. I just watched one recently about some of the issues, like it's not made for freaking off-road. It's not. It's not a freaking dirt bike. It's an adventure bike. You're designed to go off-road like fire trails. You're designed to go on like some dirt, not something like you're going to go through like tree bashing. I used to ski a lot, so I called it tree bashing, when you'd go through the trees and stuff, and it's similar like an enduro bike or just a straight dirt bike. That's not what this is designed for, right? This is a heavy-ass bike. Well, the Pan Am is. Well, this one's heavy too. But that one's, close to 600 pounds. I think it's 560. And then if you add some stuff, and mine's closer to probably 580, 590 now. I still had an absolute blast. I still did well on dirt. Well is a subjective term. I thought I did well because I'm a rookie at it, and I'm definitely going to get better. But the bike did very well, sans the tires. The tires aren't really great for off-road, but I knew that kind of going in. So my point is, I had an issue when I came home from West Virginia a couple weeks back, where I pulled into a gas station. Now, I blame the gas station because my friends know this. For those of you that know the East Coast, there's a bunch of gas stations called Sheetz and Wawa. I'm a Wawa guy. Anyway, I pulled into a Sheetz, filled it up, and after I was done filling it up, tried to start the bike. Sure enough, nothing. It would turn on, like you could see the screen and everything. There was actually a video, great YouTuber called $1 Million Bogan. You probably heard of him, and he did this whole series on Pan American. One of his videos, that actually happened to him. When the bike wouldn't fire back up, everything would turn on. So 45 minutes later, after doing some diagnostics myself, and then after freaking out and almost calling the insurance company to come pick me up for a tow, I went by and replugged a couple wires, just pushed on them and by the kickstand, and sure enough, it fired right up. But the whole time I'm riding home, I wasn't thinking about getting on a forum and just freaking bashing it. I wasn't thinking about raising holy hell and saying how bad these bikes are. At the end of the day, I dropped it off at service because I wanted to find out. So they called me recently and said, well, there's no faults. There's nothing. We cannot find anything we don't know. Now, obviously, that's the answer. That's not the answer I really wanted. I wanted to find something concrete on why the bike would not start for 45 minutes. My take is the sensor somehow got either water in it or it got jammed up or the connection came loose, and then when I pushed it back in, it fired right up. But who knows? Regardless, it's working fine now. The point is, I still feel comfortable with the bike. I still think it's reliable, and that's with me knowing that I've rode Harleys for, 15 years now. And not everybody's going to agree with that. And that's totally cool. Why are we focusing so much on the freaking negative? And it's not just that in motorcycles. You find that any manufacturer, guys. Everybody that just wants to pounce on the one or two things and say it's a piece of crap bike. Yeah, during the AMF years, before Willie G bought it back, yeah, it did suck. I'll be the first to admit that. But now, not so much. And then for these articles and a lot of these publications to say it's actually a pretty reliable bike. You have a good warranty with it. It's long term. There's a lot of bikes out there that have been around for a while. So it's not like it's a piece of crap. So I want to get your opinion. I want your honest opinion to see if I'm off base with this, if I'm just being freaking hypersensitive about all these people that are bitching about Harley. I get it. I'd be pissed if I had something wrong with my bike. I don't know if I'd sit there and scream it from the rooftops, though, but I'd be pissed, so I get it. If I got a limit, if I got somebody like my friend McKaylee 7 did with all those issues, yeah, hell yeah, I'd be pissed. As long as they fixed it and we went forward and I still feel comfortable with the bike, it's a mechanical engine. Things are going to happen to it. So I want to get your take. I want to see what your thoughts are. Hopefully this video that you enjoyed. Give me some feedback. Now get out there and ride. Be well. And I'll talk to you guys soon.